Good morning. Good morning. Before we start our meeting this morning, I'd like to ask the interpreters to introduce themselves. I have 6 interpreters that I saw on the screen, so if I've missed anyone, apologies. Hector, I think I see you first.
Good morning. Yes, I'm Hector Lee. I'm gonna be assistant in Spanish.
Great.
Good to meet you all.
Okay, thank you. New?
Thank
New
you.
Lee?
Thank you. Hi, everyone. My name is Như. I'll be the Vietnamese interpreter for the meeting this morning. Thank you.
Zenilda?
Hello everyone, my name is Anilda and I'll be a Kibernese interpreter for the evening. Alô, sim, boa noite. Meu nome é Anilda, and I'll be serving as intérprete de Cabo Verdeano. Obrigada, thank you.
Thank you. Chase?
Hello, my name is Chase Mui. I will be your Cantonese interpreter. 大家好，我叫做 Chase Mui， 我係你哋今日嘅廣東話翻譯。多謝。
Thank you, Chase. Jardine?
Good morning. My name is Jardine, and I will be your Haitian Creole interpreter for this morning's meeting. Bonjour, mon nom c'est Jardine, et c'est mon caractère pour nous en créole haïtien matin.
Thank you. Thank you. And Heron?
Hey, my name is Haran. I am your Mandarin interpreter for this morning's meeting. 我的名字叫 Haran， 我是你们今天早上国语的翻译。谢谢 ，Thank you.
Thank you. Did I miss anyone?
No, I think we're all good, and the interpretation rooms are now open.
Okay, thank you, Cyrus. Well, good morning again, and thank you for joining the Boston Zoning Commission public hearing, which is being held virtually to ensure the safety of the public, staff members, and the Boston zoning commissioners during the COVID-19 pandemic. The open public meeting law requires that I notify the public that this meeting is being recorded. Please be aware that an audio and visual recording of this meeting is being made. I'd now like to take a roll call of members present at the beginning of the meeting. Myself, Jill Hatton, present. Mr. Nichols?
Present.
Mr. DeMilla?
Here.
Mr. Marr?
Present.
Mr. Arroyo?
Present.
Mr. Leff?
Present.
Ms. Miller?
Hi, present.
Thank you, Isha. Ms. Morikawa? And Mr. Ostrich?
Yes, present.
Thank you, everyone. This is the 9 a.m. public hearing. This is a public hearing before the Boston Zoning Commission to consider the First Amendment to the Development Plan for Bland Development Area Number 100, Parcel 25/25B in Mission Hill. The hearing was duly advertised on January 25th, 2024 in the Boston Herald. In a Boston Zoning Commission hearing on proposed petitions, the proponent will first present their case and are subject to the questioning by members of the commission only. We are taking support and opposition at the same time. If you are planning to testify, please take time now to verify that your computer microphone is active. Click the hand icon on your Zoom control panel. This will signal staff that you would like to speak. When your hand is raised, it will be blue. If you are calling into the meeting and would like to testify, please dial *9 to raise your hand. When I call for all testimony, staff will announce your name and allow you to talk. You must unmute your microphone. Your webcam will not be active. In an effort to accommodate all who would like to speak about this proposal, each person will be given up to 2 minutes to comment. Commission staff will indicate when 30 seconds remain. At that time, please conclude your remarks so that the hearing may continue and others may be heard. Finally, the proponents are allowed a period of 5 to 10 minutes for rebuttal if they so desire. I'd ask the BPA to please begin their presentation.
Good morning, and thank you, commissioners. My name is Ebony DeRosa, and I'm a senior project manager in the Development Review Department of the BPDA. We are here before you today to discuss the proposed First Amendment to the Development Plan for Planned Development Area Number 100, Parcel 25/Parcel 25B, and the Parcel 25 Phase 3 Notice of Project Change project. I thank you for your time today. The proposed Notice of Project Change consists of the construction of a new 6-story, approximately 120,000 gross square foot building. with up to 94 affordable rental units and 33 parking spaces, 8 of which are for the sole use of the proposed project residents, and the remaining 25 spaces as ancillary parking for the adjacent Phase 1A project. The proposed project amends the original Phase 3 project, which consisted of approximately 161,500 gross square feet of commercial office space, which was anticipated to be 160 feet tall and included 185 below-grade parking spaces. The notice of project change and PDA amendment were both filed on September 22nd. A public meeting was held in October, which resulted in an overwhelming amount of support for the project from the greater Mission Hill community and Councilor Durkin. At this time, I am happy to turn it over to Ford Del Vecchio from the planning team to discuss the planning context for the project, followed by a presentation from the development team. Thank you.
Great. Thank you for that, Ebony. Good morning, commissioners. My name is Ford Del Vecchio, and I'm the BPDA zoning compliance reviewer assigned to this project. BPDA planners use the zoning, citywide plans and policies, local context, including present density and recent construction, as well as community feedback in order to review the proposed project during the review process. This project is located in Roxbury Crossing, on the border of Mission Hill and Roxbury. There is currently no applicable neighborhood plan for this parcel. The proposed project is located in an area supplied heavily by public transit, with many amenities needed for daily life located nearby. Directly across the street from the property is the Roxbury Crossing MBTA Orange Line stop, as well as stops for the 18 and 22 buses. The buildings surrounding the proposed project are a combination of commercial, retail, mixed use, and multifamily housing. This is especially true as one continues west along Tremont Street. The bridge that spans the MBTA tracks immediately to the east of the development site is underdeveloped with no air rights projects, which provides for a sharp break between Mission Hill, where the property is formerly housed, and the adjacent neighborhood of Roxbury. This project also falls within Parks Design Review, which calls for heightened importance upon opening green space preservation and enhancement. Next slide, please. This parcel is governed by PDA number 100, which is created as an overlay in order to create consistency and reliability for the zoning that defines the property. The proposed NPC still falls within the parameters set forth by the original PDA. Thank you, and now I will turn it over to the development team to present the project in more detail.
Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the commission, and thank you, Ebony and Ford. Attorney Nick Zazula, McDermott, Quilty, Miller, and Hanley LLP, zoning and permitting attorneys for the project. With me today from Mission Hill Neighborhood Housing Services, the proponent is Patricia Flaherty, their executive director, and Ricardo Sanchez, their senior project manager. We also have our project architect from UTEAL, Matthew Littell, who's a principal there. And really honored and excited to be here again for this wonderful project. We'd like to thank Ebony and the BPDA staff, as well as Mayor's Office of Housing, for all their efforts on this project. And we also want to thank the Mission Hill community, stakeholders, individuals who participated in a robust planning process for Parcel 25 that resulted in the vision that NHS is completing with this Phase 3 NPC, and who supported the recent funding applications to the Mayor's Office of Housing. We also work closely with our institutional community at Wentworth, New Baptist Hospital, Children's Hospital, and Metro Housing Boston. And we had a lot of input and help from our elected officials with guidance on this project, including Congresswoman Presley, Councilor Durkin, Councilor Murphy, City Council President Lujan, and State Reps Tyler and Montano. A lot of what you're seeing here on the project chart has already been mentioned by Ebony and by Ford. This is a notice of project change only for the third phase of this overall PDA project. The first two phases of the project have been fully constructed and built out. And in fact, NHS actually recently obtained their certificate of occupancy for Phase 2 about a month ago. So they are moving forward with the first two phases, and this third phase will now consist, as you heard, of 94 affordable housing units, much needed at 100% affordable at a range of area median incomes. And as you can see here on our project comparison chart, there's a change from what was previously contemplated as a commercial office building to an all affordable housing building. This change significantly reduces the building massing and impact from the approved project, and it represents approximately a 26% decrease in gross square footage from 161,500 square feet to approximately 120,000 square feet, and a reduction in height by 4 stories, while also changing to a less impactful residential use than the approved commercial office use. And finally, I'll just note, you can see here on the bottom row of the chart that the zoning code allows for an FAR of 5 with a PDA in this location. The approved full build out had an FAR of approximately 4, and this NPC Phase 3 project with the reduction in gross square footage reduces the FAR even further to approximately 3.06. With that, I will now toss it over to Matthew from UTIL, who will quickly go through the rest of the presentation. So next slide, please. And Matthew, over to you.
Thank you, Nick, and thank you to the members of the commission. The project sits directly adjacent to the Orange Line right-of-way in Southwest Corridor Park and across the street from the Roxbury Crossing T Station. The site serves as a gateway to the Mission Hill neighborhood and is an important pedestrian connector for residents of many surrounding communities. The preceding phases have provided 86 units of affordable housing to the neighborhood, as well as commercial and community spaces at street level. Next slide, please. You can see here the completed Phase 1 project on the left, as well as the recently completed Phase 2 building on the upper right. The proposed project will integrate many of the temporary improvements between the preceding projects to provide welcoming pedestrian connections and landscape areas through the site. Next slide. Phase 3 will bring an additional 94 units of 100% affordable housing to the neighborhood and fill a missing gap in the urban fabric. The project has been designed architecturally to be equally responsive both to the active transit corridor at its front door and the city beyond, but also to its immediate neighbors and surroundings within the Parcel 25 block. Massing, materiality, and color around the building have all been considered to further these goals. Next slide. The landscape plays a very important role here in stitching together the individual projects into a cohesive whole. We've designed these spaces in coordination with our landscape architect to create clear, safe, and accessible pathways for people to circulate through the site, while also providing a variety of places for informal gathering and more structured community events within the site itself. Next slide. The ground floor of the building accommodates a generous community room facing Tremont Street, an ample lobby and bike parking, as well as vehicle parking in an enclosed parking area. The upper floors are efficiently arranged to maximize livable area for the residential units and provide daylight to corridors and elevator lobbies. Next slide. Here you can see a view of the project from the plaza directly in front of the Roxbury Crossing T Station at the intersection of Tremont and Columbus, with a long pleated facade facing the train tracks. Next slide. From Gurney Street on the left, making your way down Tremont and across the street, the ground floor of the building is pulled back to open the community room to the street and invite pedestrians into the site. Next slide. From Gurney Street on the left and Mindoro Street on the right, the landscaped paths invite neighbors into the site and provide direct access to the building's residential entrance. Next slide. The building entrance is located on a plaza at the nexus of the 3 projects, with a prominent position and clear views to and from the surrounding neighborhood and transit connections. Next slide. We've designed the building and landscape as an interconnected active social space meant to invite connection and serve as a beacon to residents and neighbors throughout the day. Next slide. And finally, this view of the Muse between Phase 2 and Phase 3 shows that intention extends to all parts of the site design, where we've aimed to create a balance between active and public uses and private residential character, providing spaces that are welcoming and inclusive and give residents a sense of home. Next slide. We're very excited about the opportunity to bring more affordable, sustainable housing to Mission Hill and to fulfill a long-standing community vision for this site. Thank you very much for your time.
Does that complete your presentation?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you very
Okay.
much.
Thank you. Are there any questions from the commissioners for the team? Okay. At this point, I think I'd like to ask if we can call for public testimony. And as your mute is removed so that you can speak, please announce your name, affiliation, and your position on the proposed project. Jeff, if there is any testimony.
Yeah, thank you, Commissioner Hatton. Anthony Baez. Anthony, go ahead and unmute yourself. Anthony, it says he's unmuted, so.
Sorry, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Hi, my name is Anthony. I'm the Mission Hill liaison for Councilor Sharon Durkin. Councilor Durkin is pleased to see this proposal brought forward by a steadfast partner and leader in the Mission Hill neighborhood. They are committed to helping Mission Hill retain its cultural, racial, and economic diversity. And to do that, additional workforce housing needs to be provided. This project will deliver 94 units of affordable housing at all the previously mentioned levels of income, 70 of which are family-sized units, ensuring that all families can afford to live in this wonderful neighborhood. For these reasons, Councilor Durkin urges the Commission to approve this proposal. Thank you.
Thank you, Anthony.
I have no more raised hands.
Okay, thank you. At this point, I'd like to go into our business session and ask for a motion or any discussion on this presentation.
I'm happy to make a motion. As I mentioned last meeting, this is a terrific firm that's doing some really great work in Mission Hill. And it's a very thoughtful proposal. And I'm pleased to move in favor of adopting First Amendment to Development Plan for Planned Development Area number 100, parcel 25, parcel 25B in Mission Hill.
I'd like to second that. Second.
Thank you. Thank you. At this point, we'll take a roll call vote. Mr. Nichols,
Yes.
Mr. DeMilla,
Yes.
Mr. Barr. You're on mute, David.
Sorry about that.
That's all right.
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Arroyo,
Yes.
Mr. Leff,
Yes.
Ms. Miller,
Yes.
Ms. Morikawa,
Yes.
Mr. Ostrich,
Yes.
and I'm yes as well. So the motion carries 9-0. Thank you and good luck with your project.
Thank you very much. Have a great day. Thank you.
Welcome. The 9:15 original agenda item was removed from the agenda. So our next session, I believe, Jeffrey, starts at 9:30, right?
That's correct for the revote. Yes.
For the revote. So we have about 7-8 minutes. And if everyone can just hang on, we'll start right at 9:30 in this next agenda item. Thanks.
I'm going to refresh my coffee. I'll be back.
Thank you for joining the Boston Zoning Commission public hearing, which is being held virtually to ensure the safety of the public, staff members, and the Boston Zoning Commissioners during the COVID-19 pandemic. The open public meeting law requires that I notify the public that this meeting is being recorded. Please be aware that an audio and visual recording of the meeting is being made. At this point, I will take a roll call of the members present at the beginning of this hearing. Myself, Jill Hatton, present. Mr. Nichols,
Present.
Mr. DeMilla,
Present.
Mr. Morrow,
Present.
Mr. Arroyo,
Present.
Mr. Leff,
Present.
Ms. Miller,
Oh,
Sorry, present.
No worries. Thank you, Aisha. Ms. Morikawa
Present.
and Mr. Ostrich.
present.
Thank you. This 9:30 hearing is a revote on Wednesday, January 10th, from 10:57 to 11 a.m. as the zoning commission was in their business session to vote on text amendment application number 518. And after public testimony on this proposed amendment had concluded at 10:56, waiver of affordable housing / Article 80, a user error with the Zoom hosting erroneously removed some participants from the meeting who were then unable to rejoin via Zoom to hear the zoning commission's deliberation and decision on this application. Out of an abundance of caution and the zoning commission's commitment to transparent, open meetings, the commission is holding this revote on text amendment application number 518, waiver of affordable housing, Article 80. At this point, I'd like to ask if any of the commissioners have any comments or would like to have any discussion on the proposal. Well, I guess I would just like to mention that in the prior session, when folks were unfortunately not able to hear our discussion, I did want to just reiterate that I thought the materials in the presentation were excellent. The staff did a very, very thorough and detailed presentation and job describing this information. And I did want to reinforce that I think the quality of our staff at the BPDA is excellent. And sometimes they come under a lot of criticism and pressure. But I think this the materials that we heard in January, in my mind, were clearly of excellent quality. And I wanted to just thank them for that and just recognize them for the hard work and the high quality work that they bring to our commission.
Agreed.
Excellent, Jill. Agree.
Yeah.
Anyone else have any comments or comments on the materials, the proposal, or any other item pertaining to this item?
Just a point of clarity, Chairperson. So the part that was not recorded was not part of the presentation, but it was the voting aspect of the presentation.
Yeah, the hearing, the public hearing closed at 10:56, Dave. And so then we entered our business meetings. So I think that the individuals that were unfortunately removed from the hearing didn't hear our business meeting. So all the public testimony was taken and we had entered our business meetings. So we're really, the public testimony was already a public record. So we're just kind of back in our business meeting again, and then we're going to take a vote so that everyone can hear our discussions.
Okay, no, that's great. And yeah, I guess it just begs the question, if anybody feels that they need to hear any comments going backwards, now is the time. Otherwise, personally, I'm satisfied with what was presented and what was discussed, and I'm prepared to vote when we reach that point.
Okay, great. No, and I think everyone got a copy of the minutes, which also outlined all the individuals that spoke in favor and opposition to the proposal. So I appreciate that we received that as well. And the public, that's all part of the public record. So.
Great, thank you.
All right. Anyone else have any comments or discussion on this text amendment application number 518? Waiver of affordable housing, Article 80. If not, I'll ask for a motion and a second on this.
I will make a motion to approve text amendment application number 518, waiver of affordable housing, Article 80.
Thank you, Mike.
Second.
Thank you. And at this point, then I'll take a roll call of each member's vote. Mr. Nichols?
Yes.
Mr. DeMella?
Yes.
Mr. Marr?
Yes.
Mr. Arroyo?
Yes.
Mr. Luff,
Yes.
Ms. Miller,
Yes.
Ms. Morikawa,
Yes.
Mr. Ostrich,
Yes.
and myself, I vote yes. The item passes 9-0. Thank you for everyone participating in this, and thanks to the BPDA for bringing this back so that everyone has the opportunity to hear us vote on this matter. And with that, I think our public hearing is closed. And we're adjourned. I don't know if anyone has any questions after the fact.
Meeting in 2 weeks, 28th, we have 4 PDAs. So you'll receive that probably at the end of this week, all that material.
And we'll get the voting emails on these 2 items as well.
Yes.
And Jay will be back. So.
Thank you, Commissioner Hatton, for your step in to sharing.
Oh, no worries. Thank you. All right, but I think we're adjourned. Does anyone have anything else? Or Kathleen, did you have anything that you wanted to put out there?
I think Jeff and I wanted to flag that based on what is likely going to the BPDA board to petition you later this week, that we will be able to cancel one of the 2 dates that we'd established in March. So Jeff's going to look at and based on the attendance that you all had submitted for the March dates, whichever one has less commissioners able to attend, we'll plan to cancel, just so that we and then we anticipate that we will have quite robust meetings of the zoning commission in April because as a result, so some very significant zoning changes that we will be bringing to you at that time.
Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you. Anyone else?